CBS Sports Network is presented by Freshpet. We are at a lively EA Diddle Arena, Bowling Green, Kentucky, for a great rivalry game between Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee. We just hit the first media timeout, and you've already missed 23 points if you didn't join us on the stream. 13-10, Western Kentucky with the lead. I'm Chris Hassel, joined by Mike O'Donnell. This has been a really fun start, but let's go back to the start of things. And earlier today, you're going to be calling the Conference USA Championship game, Huntsville, Alabama, later on this season, and you told me you wouldn't be surprised if either one of these teams win it. Why?
Talent and speed. And you look at this game and how fast it's been already. That's the way that Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee want to play. Up-tempo, get up and down.
Well, that's exactly what we are seeing so far in this game. Jalen Counter for Middle Tennessee scored the first 7 points of this game, inside and out for the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, he's a transfer from IUPUI, where averaged 14 a game. He's top 10 in Conference USA in assists, but Counter has been electric to start this game. Very much looking to be the aggressor offensively for Middle Tennessee.
And he has all 10 points for Middle Tennessee, but Western has caught fire as well. They've hit a trio of trays, and Don McHenry has 8 points. As we look at the Freshpet keys to the game from Mike O'Donnell.
Middle Tennessee has the height advantage. It worked for them last time. Continue to go inside early and often. You can't give any clean looks for Christian Lander. And for Western Kentucky, they have to protect the paint because of the size disadvantage. And don't forget to make the extra pass. Coach Plona talked to us about that this afternoon in shoot-around. He said, look, we want to play fast and aggressive, but we don't have something. Slow it down and let's make the extra pass an open look. We got to get that defense shifted.
Western Kentucky started 0 for 5. They are 5 for 7 since. Hank Plona, first season as the head coach here at Western Kentucky. He was a top assistant last season after coming over from Indian Hills Community College in Iowa, where Mike, he won 86.5% of his games. Only 39 years old. Great to see him getting a shot at a great college basketball institution like Western Kentucky. Quickly out of that timeout, a three is missed by Justin Porter.
Nice
and Western the other way pays it off. Enoch Kalambe is back.
I forgot to stretch my hamstrings before this game. This is an absolute track meet.
Kalambe did not play in the last game against Jacksonville State with an illness, only had 10 minutes of action against Kennesaw State. But both of these teams had a week off after their last game last weekend, as McHenry tried to draw the foul there, didn't get it, but good work inside. Blaze Cada with the offensive rebound. And that went off of Bayless's fingertips. It's Middle Tennessee basketball. Bayless can't believe it. He thought that was off Porter.
It's an excellent pass ahead by Christian Lander. That's Kalambe running the floor. Everything is about transition defense tonight for both teams, but especially for Middle Tennessee, because Western Kentucky is 5th in the nation in tempo.
Middle Tennessee won the first meeting in Murfreesboro about a month ago, 71-57. I mean, you hold Western Kentucky to 57 points. Wow. That was a 1-point game at halftime. Middle Tennessee actually came from behind and pulled away. 3 on the shot clock. And that's a late foul call as Justin Porter's feet got tangled up on the way down.
Coach Plona is furious because he felt like that was a mirror image of what happened on the other side of the floor, with McHenry trying to draw the foul on the last 3-point attempt.
And Mike, they are going to review this just to see whether or not it's a 2 or a 3, and it looks like his foot, his left foot, might have been on the line. From that angle, it looked more like a 2. But it was called, I believe, on the floor, it was called a 2 on the court. Yeah, that's going to be a 2.
Left foot, yeah, on the line.
What did you think of the call here? Bayless, I mean, he certainly got into him, but you're not allowed to kick out your legs.
Yeah, but also he landed in the shooter space, though. I mean, that was
Bayless.
Yes, yeah. He landed in the shooter space.
Yeah, I thought it was the right call.
I agree.
All right, 15-10. Western Kentucky. This is a team that has dealt with just injury after injury this season. We mentioned Kalambe, who averages 9 points and 4 rebounds a game, missing the last game at Jacksonville State. And man, they could have used him. They lost that game at the Horn by 2 points. They're also missing Julius Thedford, their great freshman. It is going to be 2 free throws like we thought. The fans are booing because they thought that they were reviewing whether or not it was a foul. That's not the case. They were just reviewing where the foot was. So Thedford might come back in a couple of weeks before the end of the season, but maybe their best player, Babakar Faye, averaging 15 and 8. He's been out since December the 14th with a partial MCL tear, and that they say could be good to go in a week or 2, but it's getting late now, and he might be in the running for a medical redshirt if he doesn't come back. Yeah,
it's certainly a tough blow for Western Kentucky, whether he comes back or not, because when he comes back, it still would take you a couple weeks to find your rhythm again. And Faye averaging 15 points, almost 8 rebounds a game. He's a mismatch problem at 6'8", shoots almost 40% from 3. Huge loss for the Hilltoppers this season.
And they're coming off a winless road trip last week, losing at Kennesaw State and then at Jacksonville State. Fans know how big this game is. Another offensive rebound inside, and gonna stick with it. Blaze Keita.
Nice pass.
Giving him some length, and gonna get a couple of free throws from Enoch Kalambe.
How active has Blaze Keita been in this game? Transfer from Nebraska. Offensive rebound, and he's not making poor decisions when he gets it. That was an excellent pass and a fantastic cut after that offensive rebound.
And one thing for Western, sitting there at 5 and 6, we talked about how the top 6 in Conference USA get a bye into the quarterfinals of the tournament in Huntsville, Alabama. And Western Kentucky entered the day tied for 7th, so they've got some work to do. But 5 of their last 7 games are right here at home, and getting Kalambe back today, and maybe in a week or 2, Julius Thedford as well. This team could be getting as healthy as it has been in a long time at just the right time.
And Thedford is a tough freshman, 6'4". He's 2-time Conference USA Freshman of the Week. Might still be a few weeks away from coming back, but they get him. Even if they get him, they don't get Faye. Huge help.
Both of these teams had a whole week off before this rivalry game. And another bucket from Jalen Counter. Snapped that one so hard the rim got, or the net got caught on the rim. That's why they blew the whistle. He's got 13 points on 5 of 8 from the floor.
He's hit 3 threes already in the first half. There's 13:31 left. The game got off to a frenetic pace. You can feel it slowing down just a little bit, Chris.
Here's Kalambe. And there's another late whistle, and Nick McDevitt, the head coach of Middle Tennessee, can't believe that one. They will be free throws for Kalambe.
Kalambe's had a really solid season for Western Kentucky, averaging almost 9 a game. He was an All-American at Indian Hills under Coach Blona. He was out for a few days with an illness coming into this game. He just started in practice this week after being out sick.
One of several players on this team that played for Coach Blona at Indian Hills, including Don McHenry, their leading scorer. Here's Counter. Get it back to him. He's still finding space. That's a long 2. He's got 15. Averages 11 points a game. But Mike, you asked Coach McDevitt at shoot-around today, who's the guy that he's really good at watching film, understanding things. He thought about it for a little bit. First name, he said Jalen Counter.
That's right. He trusts him exclusively to do and make the right play all the time. He said he's one of the more intelligent players he's ever coached.
Cam Weston has been quiet, but no more. And one as Middle Tennessee retakes the lead at the 12.5 mark.
And it's great to see Cam Weston back. Was cleared in the fall after the, essentially doing non-contact drills the entire summer after getting injured towards the end of the middle of the season last season. And he's just been a mainstay in this program. He's one of the better combo guards and point guards in Conference USA.
Fourth season here at Middle Tennessee. He had a game against UTEP earlier this season, Mike, where he had 14 assists and 0 points.
And what we just saw on that play, and him at the free throw line may seem like a normal, typical basketball play. That's what he's great at. He's actually fourth in Conference USA in fouls drawn per game. Draws almost 5 fouls a game.
Now that's an underrated statistic.
How about that? That's important, though.
It is. So often games come down to free throws as Colombe knocks down the corner tray and Western goes back on top. Counter to Justin Porter, one of the leading scorers in Conference USA, only has 2 points, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Middle Tennessee. For those of you watching our free streaming coverage, it'll conclude after the commercial break. And we're going to continue right here on CBS Sports Network. You can find us by going to cbssportsnetwork.com/channel finder. Our basketball coverage here is presented by Fresh Pet. Western up 1 in a high-scoring affair early.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Fresh Pet. It's not dog food, it's food food. By JIP. There's only one. And by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
The Hilltoppers honoring that man, an all-time great here at Western Kentucky. Bobby Rasco, by wearing the number 45 on their uniform this season. Bobby passed away back in August. What a player he was for this team back in the early 60s. They went to 3 straight NCAA tournaments, 2 Sweet 16s under Bobby Rasco. His number 45 jersey raised into the rafters a dozen years ago.
He was selected by the New York Knicks in the 20th pick of the 1962 NBA draft. I don't know if you know this, he was also an avid gardener and was well known for making beautiful furniture.
I did not know that. Thank you, Mike. That's, what a life.
You're welcome. Yeah. Legend.
Western Kentucky with a 1-point lead here, 11.5 to go first half. And one of the great mid-major rivalry games. And since the extra juice in the building, anytime these two teams lock up, three-pointer off the mark from Chris Loof.
What a pass.
Yeah, Lander with a great pass. Rejected by Loof. And Middle Tennessee was just bigger and stronger. Cam Weston the other way, gets cut off by Colombe. We're talking with Nick McDevitt as...
Oh, he's hot! Oh, he's hot!
Counter's got 18, his 4th 3 in the first 9 minutes and change of this game, and he can't help but just laugh it off.
This is full heat check mode right now for Counter. Anytime he gets it, I mean, I'd be letting it go.
Nick McDevitt was saying, you know, this is their best start since that 2022 season when they won their division and he was coach of the year.
Oh, he's open, left side.
He's calling for it, he's got it, he's launching. Oh, he thought it was down too. He was watching that one.
He brought his follow through down too early.
McHenry able to get that one up over the arms of Loof.
McHenry is such a gifted finisher at 6'2". He knows how to play angles exceptionally well. One of the better scorers in Conference USA.
Knotted at 23, halfway through this first half, and almost a mistake that time by Counter. He's able to draw the foul there. 18 points on 7 of 11 shooting for Counter.
Weston wasn't sure where to go with the ball. And so that looked like Counter was just going to continue to set up the offense. That's beyond NBA range for Jalen Counter. I'd be smiling after that too.
That was from the IGA logo. As an open three-point look for Weston, off the mark, but run down by the big man, Issam Mustafa.
What
and Alston pays it off with the and one.
Mustafa was in no man's land. He was stuck deep in the corner. He tried to throw it off a Western Kentucky player. He misses. Weston saves it from out of bounds. Doesn't just save it, but throws a dime while saving it. My goodness.
Alston can't convert the three-point play, but Mustafa, he had 18 rebounds, you mentioned, in that first matchup between these two. He's first in Conference USA, averaging 9 rebounds a game. And he got his team an extra 2 points there with that offensive chase down. Christian Lander to the hoop.
That's the difference in his game this season from the previous seasons. He's more than just a shooter. He has turned into a scorer, a player who can put it on the deck and create something. Oh, tough cross from Weston.
Oh, wow. Just couldn't. Everything but the finish, Mike. Everything but the finish. Great handles. Really fun game so far in the 149th meeting between these two teams, separated by 100 miles. And Mustafa blocked that one out of bounds. Look at the Conference USA standings. Middle Tennessee, if they win tonight, would get within 2 of Jacksonville State. The top 6 get a bye to the quarterfinals. Western Kentucky right on that cut line.
How about Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State? Nobody thought they would be this good.
Bayless drills the 3. You're right. Louisiana Tech was picked to win this conference. Western Kentucky picked second, and then Sam Houston. Sam Houston finally starting to realize some of their potential after a 1-10 start. They've won 2 straight as Mustafa makes it a 1-point game again.
Issam Mustafa might have the best old school game in the country. Keeps it simple. Great footwork.
Now he's the first to admit, I'm really not that athletic, but
that's what he told us. We both started laughing. So you didn't have to admit that, big fella.
He works hard. That one partially blocked, and Middle Tennessee is coming the other way with it, looking to retake the lead here at the under 8. Weston corner 3. Mustafa the rebound again, and he's fouled. He is working hard on the glass. His 4th rebound. And we'll step aside real quick in a good one. Western Kentucky with a 1-point lead here with 7:51 to go in the first half from EA Diddle Arena. Don McHenry up to a good start tonight, and he's been great. Had a stretch of 4 straight 20-plus point games at 21, and then 20, and then 20 more against UTEP January the 30th, and then 27 against New Mexico State. 30 points at one point at Kennesaw State, and he has scored 20-plus in 4 straight. And tonight, man, he scored 8 points, Mike, when we were streaming in 90 seconds.
It was quick. And McHenry is what I like to call a proper hooper. Highly effective scorer, great handle, excellent in the mid-range. You have to worry about his 3. He's 6th in Conference USA in scoring. What I love, you don't see a lot of 6'2" guards, scoring guards, be in the top 10 in Conference USA in field goal percentage, but McHenry is.
Both teams shooting it well from distance. Oh, that was right on line. We had a great view of that.
You got to go right back to counter.
I mean, he's feeling it, man. Like, get it to the youngster, the redshirt freshman, Torrey Alston, the only freshman on this team. They don't have any true freshmen. Alston is a very athletic young guy.
Big-time athlete, quick bounce. You saw it on that block early in the first half.
Great position inside. Blaze Cada.
That was also a smooth post-entry pass. You don't see that enough anymore in today's game, just because you don't see the old school post-up anymore. He keeps pulling the string on his follow-through in these last couple shots, and Counter needs to get back to following through. I know he's heat-checking right now.
Well, even his misses have been right on line. One just short, one just long. The best shooters, they say. I know, Mike, you were one of them. They usually don't miss left or right. They miss long or short.
I've seen you miss left and right constantly. I don't know what that makes you.
Left, right, long, short. I just stopped shooting.
You're one of those players that I can't stand because you step in the gym and you just start taking half-court shots. No respect for the game.
I stand by my half-court shots. That's really all I could do as a kid. I wasn't a good player, but I could make the half-court shot.
I have yet to see you make one. Well,
I haven't taken a shot in about 5 years. I've taken other shots, but not basketball shots. 6.5 to go here in the first half in Western Kentucky. With 5 on the shot clock, got to get something moving to the hoop. They go into the corner. That one rejected out of bounds as the shot clock expires. Alston again getting those long, lanky arms in the way. During the month of February, CBS Sports celebrates Black history, recognizing its influence on our culture and society. Middle Tennessee wearing the Black History Month shoot-around shirts before the game. Alston went up quick with that, got his own rebound, back up, and he draws the foul.
I really like his game, Chris, and it's not, when you watch him play as a guard, it gives you great confidence to play with a wing forward like Alston. He's a good screener. He brings an enormous amount of energy, because a lot of times if a guard gets stuck and he takes his, you'd rather take a shot around the rim being toughly guarded than make a bad pass, right? Bad shots are way better than turnovers. Obvious statement. Some players always forget that. But you put it up on the rim, Austin's so athletic and he's always crashing the glass. You always have a chance to get that possession back.
Alston from Durham, North Carolina. He went to Winston-Salem Christian. I wonder how he ended up in Middle Tennessee. Well, his dad played here for Middle Tennessee in the late 80s. And they've got a good one. Already 8 lead changes in this game. Nobody's led by more than 5.
Good defending that zoom action by Middle Tennessee. Great defense on the perimeter. And as I say that, Lander gets an open look.
But did not come close. That hit the glass first. Weston a little strong on the 3. Mustafa got his hand on it, but it went out off him.
Chris, I think you can see it too, and you can feel that Western Kentucky's going under a lot of those screens on Weston, almost daring him to shoot deep from 3.
Just 27% from three-point range this season. He's gonna drive and kick. It's a fight for those rebounds, isn't it? Abner all the way, and the foul.
Nobody from Middle Tennessee picked up the ball. I mean, this was Christian Lander having a wide open driving lane, takes full advantage. And he's a lefty. You got to push him away from that left wing. He's too good of a scorer.
Coach Plona was telling us that thing that he just did right there, getting to the rim, his ability to do that has opened up his three-point shooting, because you got to play off him a little bit if he's going to blow by.
He's an even better three-point shooter this season than he was last season. Up 2 percentage points from 35% to 37%, and that's his game. That's what he wants his game to be elite at. We talked to him at shoot-around, and Mustafa said, I've got to be better in mid-range. I think I can. I've been working on it. Really want to add that to my game.
Says he's been a lot better lately. Great dish and dunk. Leroy Odiaye. His second stuff of the game, and Lander with the great feed. Alston drives it into the paint, straight over the top. Poked around again, out of bounds. Western Kentucky ball. Let's go back to the great bounce and then the get up.
The pass is going to come right here. It is as smooth as it gets in pick and roll pocket pass action. Good catch, good finish, elite pass.
ODI, the transfer from Old Dominion, played for Plona at Indian Hills. Stop me if you've heard that before. I think we're finding out that a lot of these guys that played JUCO for Hank Plona, played D2 for Ben McCollum, are pretty good in D1 as well. McCollum's Drake Bulldogs.
Oh, sweet fancy Moses, what a hammer!
The third dunk of the game for ODI.
Hilltoppers have found something in that pick and roll action, Chris.
Shot clock to 10. Weston will launch, and off the mark once more. Weston 0 for 4 from distance in this game.
Oh, that's so
Mustafa,
tough.
Man. Great footwork there, huh?
Old school, Hakeem Olajuwon-esque footwork in the post.
I'm gonna roll him again. Oh, he wanted it.
Him.
Got the offensive rebound. Yeah, kicked it out, but threw it between two of his players. But ODI is playing his tail off right now. Gets the feed from Bayless, goes up over the top on Alston. Western by 1. CBS Sports Network's coverage of college basketball, presented by Fresh Pet. Tomorrow morning, we're heading out to the pitch for a Serie A showdown as Udinese takes on Empoli at 9. The pinnacle of Italian soccer on CBS Sports Network and Paramount Plus. Western Kentucky with a 1-point lead on Middle Tennessee. We are seeing some elite offense in this one.
ODI is going to run what is called a chase ball screen. He's going to throw it to the wing, and as soon as he throws it to the ring, he sprints into a ball screen action. It's called chase ball screen. The Golden State Warriors ran that to perfection years ago. Throw it and immediately go sprint to the ball screen, and you see how quickly he rolled on that. Excellent execution by Western Kentucky on the chase ball screen action. They found something, Chris, in their pick and roll, whether they're using the chase or dribble handoff or zoom action. Western Kentucky's pick and roll movements, and especially the roll man, has been wide open multiple possessions in the first half. Middle Tennessee has to do a better job helping from the weak side.
Guy only averaging 2 points a game, but seeing a lot of increased minutes because of all the injuries, and he's playing maybe his best game yet with 6 points on 3 dunks. Middle Tennessee has cooled off from distance.
When counter started cooling off, that's when Middle Tennessee started cooling off. And it's no surprise that once that happened, Coach McDevitt sees it, feels it, and then eventually they start running more action to go to Mustafa in the post. And we saw a couple buckets from him, some gorgeous footwork.
Counter sitting on 18 points. Just wiping the floor down, some condensation. It's been raining like crazy outside.
Look, I never like getting on the referees, but you've got to get down there and use your hand with the towel. The foot on the towel.
I think the foot is the better.
Huge mistake.
You can apply more pressure with the foot.
No, huge mistake.
Legs are stronger than the arms, Mike. You'd know that if you ever did leg day. Shot clock to 10. Look at that quick pop-up. Man, you know, he's not the most athletic, right? We've talked about that, but just does the little things. Like he had that ball for a half second. That's it.
He's one of the more intelligent post scorers in the country because of his footwork and old school mentality. They got the roll again.
Oh, they saw it this time and got in the way. In Middle Tennessee, after the 12th lead change of this game, a chance to build on their lead. Western Kentucky returning the favor, getting in the passing lane, but as Mustafa hits the ground, a foul is called. Coming up, AT&T at the half with Brent Stover, Chris Walker, Gary Parrish, and John Rothstein. What a day it's been. We have the 1 versus 2 matchup, the Iron Bowl on the court. We had some monumental battles in the Big 12. Scores, highlights, and analysis from all the key games around the nation on AT&T at the half. That's a big-time crew at halftime there. Brent Stover's Kansas State Wildcats are anything less playing great. No, of course not. Kansas State that's one of the greatest in-season turnarounds I can imagine. I'm not sure how you don't give Jerome Tang Big 12 Coach of the Year right now. If the season ended today, one of the best stories in college basketball, that turnaround. But don't you dock him though for starting 7 and 11? I mean, I know the turnaround can do that, but it's the wins that he's having in the turnaround. It's the top of the Big 12 that he's beating. They're beating the best of the best. Yeah. You go into Hilton and win by 20. 3-point lead for Middle Tennessee. Again, nobody's led by more than 5 in this first half. You see the spacing for Western Kentucky. They keep getting into the paint at will. McHenry and 1. He was red hot early in this game. Had 8 points in a 90-second span, and now he's got 12, looking for 13 at the line. He's got that floater in his game. You saw that quick crossover, bang, bang move that shifted his defender. Watch us bang. Cross. Oh, man, that is so tough. Hard to guard rabbit speed, Chris Hassel. McHenry's got it. I had a feeling he was going to come out strong after that 4 straight 20-point performances. He only had 10 last time out and had to sit on that for a week. Counter. Missed point blank. Mustafa gets the offensive board. Porter, the step back 3. And that one's tipped out by Counter. Weston wide open. He pays it off. And a timeout call by Middle Tennessee. They use it or lose it with 1:34 left in this first half. The Blue Raiders back up 3. Taking a look at some of today's Conference USA headlines. Jacksonville State had a come-from-behind victory at Louisiana Tech today. They remain in first place. How about Lamar Wilkerson and Sam Houston? They beat Jacksonville State earlier on in the week. They got another win today. And could not encourage you more that you got to watch Daniel Bacho play. He is one of the best post players, not in just Conference USA, but in the country. Leads the nation in field goal percentage. Again, regarded by Weston. Lays Cada way out there. Marshall going baseline. That one's tipped. Shot clock to 8. Jackson missed it. Offensive board. Cada straight up. Missed everything. And somehow the small guy, Jalen Jackson at 5'11", gets it. Ball screen. There it is from Cada. And now Kalambe for 3. And now with 50 seconds to go, we have a 22-second difference shot in game clock. Porter lost it. And it's Western Kentucky basketball. You know, one thing that makes this Western Kentucky team difficult to guard, besides their speed, is it feels like every single player is overly confident in attacking. There's no hesitancy. No shot is an unsure shot, right? There are no hesitant athletes on the floor. It's just constant pressure they put on you. Jackson, elbow extended. Mustafa the rebound, but gets it ripped away by Marshall. He missed it. Oh, my goodness. 3-second difference shot and game clock. What a first half. It's been awesome. This game means a lot to both fan bases. And Middle Tennessee won that first meeting, but Western Kentucky knocked Middle Tennessee out of the tournament last year with a blowout win. Fans wanted a travel there. Oh, Weston picked the pocket. That was almost a Reggie Miller type play. Porter at the buzzer. Fans are not happy. Can you tell this is a rivalry? Jalen Counter scored 18 points in the first 10 minutes of this game. And his Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders have their largest lead of the game, 44-39 at the half. Coming up next, we'll take you to our New York studio for AT&T at the half. College basketball on CBS Sports Network is presented by Fresh Pet. We are getting set to start the second half here in a fun one between Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky. The Blue Raiders with a 5-point lead thanks to an 11-3 run to close out the first half. A first half where we saw 12 lead changes, Mike.
I think I almost tweaked my hip flexor watching that first half. That was up and down, an excellent pace. We're in for an awesome second half.
But Jalen Counter scored 18 points in the first 9 minutes and change of this game. The guys in the studio did a great job breaking that down. But then after that, it was Isam Mustafa's turn to really turn things on for Middle Tennessee.
You could tell that when Counter went cold, Middle Tennessee started to get cold. So Coach McDevitt kind of altered the game plan and started to go inside more to Mustafa. And we saw his footwork, his touch around the rim. Everything that he did was under his pace, his balance, and his tempo. Western Kentucky didn't have much answer for it defensively. Now on the offensive end, Western Kentucky was just as good. We saw them get in great action, a lot due to that man right there, Don McHenry. 13 points in the first half. He got to the rim, had the mid-range, hit 2 threes. McHenry was tough as nails for the Hilltoppers.
Taking a look at the first half stats. Middle Tennessee got those early threes from Counter, but went cold after that. Second chance points, Middle Tennessee +6, and it's 9-0 Middle Tennessee in points off turnover.
Yeah, that's the big one, Chris, I think, for me in the first half of Middle Tennessee capitalizing off of those 5 turnovers for Western Kentucky.
Well, we thought this would be a fun one up and down, and that's exactly what we've gotten between these two rivals separated by 100 miles. Western Kentucky has won 100 games in this series. Nick McDevitt, head coach of Middle Tennessee, looking for his 100th win at Middle. And a great start, or should have been anyway, for Western Kentucky, but Tyrone Marshall Jr. blew the dunk. They are now 4 for 12 in layups in this game, Mike. What's going to be the difference here in the second half?
For Western Kentucky, their ability to get into the paint is going to be a huge key offensively, and they have to get back quicker and match up in transition defense. And talk early because Middle Tennessee is pushing the pace as well, right on cue, an open look. There's some contact there. Yeah, that's not surprising. That should have been a foul call.
Fans are still upset because of a couple of calls that didn't go their way late in the first half.
And right on cue, we're talking about transition defense, and so much focus goes to Western Kentucky and their tempo. Middle Tennessee loves to get out and run as well. They've been a little bit more efficient in the fast break than Western Kentucky has.
And that's the largest lead of the game for either team at 6. Torrey Alston, the redshirt freshman, now with 8.
What a great game that freshman has had. Alston, 8 points, 4 rebounds, got 2 blocks. He's top 10. He's number 1 in Conference USA in freshman block percentage. Great shot blocker.
Well, Marshall's really been struggling, and maybe he'll get going at the free throw line. He is 0 for 7 from the floor, has not scored, but Alston gets whistled for that foul. Second on Alston. Nobody in foul trouble yet. Nobody at that 3 foul mark. As Marshall, who averages 10 points a game, is in the scorer's book.
It's coming off a 22-point game in that loss to Jacksonville State. And it's not that as if Marshall hasn't been aggressive. It's just a lot of credit goes to Middle Tennessee. They can throw multiple defenders at him.
Preseason All-Conference USA selection. Counter trying to get going again. Gets to the hoop. And his first points in over 10 minutes of game time.
That was very poor ball screen defense from the Hilltoppers.
The lead is now 8. And that one is stolen away. Middle Tennessee has been a huge plus, turning turnovers into points in this game. Trying to do it again 90 seconds into the second half. They've got a double-digit lead as Justin Porter nails the three, and a timeout call by Western Kentucky. That run that ended the first half has continued in the second, and the lead is ballooned to 11. Had the top 16 bracket preview on CBS earlier today. Auburn and Alabama were the 1 and 2 teams. Auburn creating even more space for that #1 overall seed today.
They look like the best offense, the best defense in the country. I think Texas A&M is a very underrated, sneaky Final Four team. I also really like Michigan in the West. You know, if they end up being a 4 seed, they're playing excellent basketball right now. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if you got a Big 12 team and end up getting a #1 seed as well.
Well, Middle Tennessee's on an 18-4 run. Jalen Counter just got a double screen and got to the hoop. Mike, how did it happen?
Well, there's the first ball screen right here is not really what hurts Western Kentucky. It's the second late one. As you can see, that screen allows Counter to turn the corner and get downhill. It wasn't the first one that hurt you. It was the second one. Poor communication. You can see Western Kentucky is frustrated actually talking to each other afterwards. The screen wasn't called out. There was no help side defense. Excellent execution by Middle Tennessee.
Counter's got 20 for the game. Western Kentucky had a 3-point lead late in the first half, but since then all Middle, 18-4 run over the last 5 minutes or so of game time.
Lander's been pretty quiet.
Just 4 points in this game. Scored 30 in his last one, and he'll get. Bayless will get to the free throw line. Braxton Bayless was able to drive and draw the foul. It's been a pretty clean game. Not a lot of fouls, not a lot of turnovers. But what does Western Kentucky need to do to stem this tide and get back in this game?
We've got a lot of ISO action offensively for Western Kentucky. There needs to be better ball movement, and defensively, they have to do a better job of guarding pick and roll. I want you to watch Bayless's eyes. You see his eyes as he's looking up, that hesitation. That one more hesitation dribble actually gives him a better opportunity for an angle on that drive. Good use of the eyes. Your eyes are your indicators. Have to use it.
1 of 2. Western just 6 of 10 at the free throw line.
5-out offense for Middle Tennessee.
And now with 8 on the shot clock, Justin Porter weaves inside. Missed it. Alston had good position, gets the offensive board.
Oh, he's everywhere.
And Porter missed the 3, back tap. Oh, that's going to stay with Middle Tennessee. Wow, Hank Plona not happy with that. Usually on a back tap, that's off of an offensive player trying to save the possession. There were a lot of arms in there. Maybe it was Leroy Odiaye.
50-50 play for sure, Chris.
Well, Western Kentucky's not a good rebounding team, and they're getting beat on the glass in this one. Mustafa blocked. They get the foul on Odiaye.
You can see Middle Tennessee, every single possession, they are getting the ball through the paint area. Teams that consistently attack the paint see increased field goal percentage, more trips to the free throw line, and less turnovers. And that's exactly what's happening with Middle Tennessee's offense to start the second half. Every opportunity, every paint touch is an opportunistic play for Middle Tennessee. Too easy.
Well, Hank Plona said earlier this week that if they could hold Middle Tennessee to 32 and under in each half, they have a good chance to win. They gave up 44 in the first half. Mustafa with the rejection of Marshall, who continues to have a rough night. Counter, no look. Mustafa gets fouled.
He caught me. I thought he was kicking to the corner. That was a filthy pass from Jalen Counter.
It's a guy that's just feeling it.
This is awesome. Let's see how he does this. Oh, give me all that you got. More no-look passes in the game, please and thank you. We've gotten away from the no-look pass. We got to bring it back, Chris. I miss it.
I don't know. My youth coaches always benched me when I tried a no-look.
Watch the no-look pass. Oh, a thing of beauty. Hang it in the Louvre.
McHenry had no chance to get his hand up. One more for
probably should have got a better middle school coach, Chris Houser. Guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
1 of 2, lead back to 11. Western Kentucky down at 35% from the field. Again, they've been riddled with injuries this season. 2 of their big offensive threats, Babacar Faye and Julius Thedford, still out. Another look.
Lander kept that alive.
Bayless too strong, but it's going to be a foul on Middle Tennessee as Blaze Cada got the second offensive rebound of this possession. Hey, Mike, you're going to be heading 100 miles south for Middle Tennessee hosting Louisiana Tech on Thursday at 9 Eastern right here on CBS Sports Network. A rematch of that January 25th game in Ruston, won by the Bulldogs and Daniel Bacho, who's a fun watch. First in the country in field goal percentage at almost 70%. Foul's starting to pile up a little bit here. Alston has 3 now for Middle Tennessee, so he's going to have to watch himself a little bit. And Don McHenry's trying to get back on track. He had that surge early on in the game. He scored 8 quick points, but it's been few and far between since.
Best way to do it at the free throw line. You see the ball go in the hoop, you've allowed yourself to breathe, kind of reset yourself mentally.
And Alston will take a seat with those 3 fouls. I mentioned the firepower that they're missing. Faye averages 15 a game. Thedford averages 12 a game. That's 27 points right there that they haven't had in many weeks. It was Thedford who got injured in that Middle Tennessee game last month and hasn't played since. Feel like maybe there's a run coming from Western Kentucky to get the crowd back into this game. Maybe the best crowd of the season for Western Kentucky. McHenry, weak side, put back, and there's Lander.
Lander kept the possession alive on the last possession, and then the offensive rebound.
And they get the miss.
Well, you said it, Chris. A little momentum going the Hilltoppers' way. Oh, turnover.
Porter, he missed a lay-in. Said, you know what, I'm going to go get that back. It did, and McDevitt calls a timeout for Middle Tennessee as they quiet the crowd and up the lead back to 9. Well, it was tight the whole first half with 12 lead changes. Western Kentucky's trying to keep it close. College basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Fresh Pet. CBS will continue to celebrate Black History Month as well. Now, Western Kentucky has made just 2 of their last 15 shots, and they trail here at home to their bitter rivals by 9 points here with 16:02 to play.
One statistic that we highlighted coming out of halftime was points off of turnovers, and for the game, Middle Tennessee has 14 points off of 7 Western Kentucky turnovers. Western Kentucky doesn't have a single basket from Middle Tennessee turnover.
See if they get the 3 working again. Kalambe missed it. Cada gets the offensive rebound. He's had several of those. Lander into the corner. McHenry. Shot clock's going to go under 10. Buford's all over Lander. That one tipped out of bounds by Porter with 3 on the shot clock. Yeah, that's, I mean, you turn 7 turnovers into 14 points. That is
huge on the road.
I mean, that's like every turnover you are turning into a basket. Lander's got a launch. Great space. Rainbow too strong. Middle Tennessee in control right now. Looking to run their conference record to 8-4 and move within 2 games of first place Jacksonville State.
This is where they're good.
Lander to the hoop, +1. You feel like he's got to get going here. The guy that scored 30 in his last game scored 28 4 games ago. He now has 8.
And that's prototypical fast break offense. This is the second time that Lander has gotten the rebound, pushed a transition on his own, and gotten a bucket. Changing angles, getting to the middle of the floor, getting to his strong hand. Lander's so smart.
Now 8 of 13 at the free throw line are the Hilltoppers. It was a 5-point game at halftime. Western Kentucky hasn't been able to chip into that lead at all. Jalen counter, double teamed. Ball is on the deck. Mustafa can't get the bounce.
Even in traffic, don't you always feel that Mustafa's he's gonna get the ball? He just knows how to get it, right?
He's got like magnets on his hands.
There you go.
Keedy trying to post him up. Tough drive, Colombe! 5-point game again.
Can't go under that screen.
Counter. Too strong, and Colombe the rebound. Trying to climb closer. Don McHenry. Missed that, but they'll get it back. Couple of blue shirts were fighting for that ball, and they lost it on the baseline.
Blaze Cada only has 2 points. But in 13 minutes, he has 10 rebounds. Oh, they missed Cada. Wide open, yeah.
Colombe going one-on-one over the top, and he's getting going.
Here we go.
3-point game. This is as close as it's been since the first half. A 10-2 run for the Hilltoppers.
Mismatch.
Alston too strong. Lander crossing over. What a drive! Out of bounds. It'll stay with Middle Tennessee with 13 on the shot clock.
EA Diddle Arena is getting ready to explode. The attacking the rim, getting into the paint. Offensive rebounds, gritty plays for West Kentucky, and Lander, oh, the ball fake, oh, the finish, oh, the beauty.
This is as loud as I've heard this place in a few years.
This is great.
A Conference USA tournament title last year. Shot clock under 10. Colombe kicks it into the corner. Weston left open. Hits the three. A crowd shusher for the moment. Bayless. Too strong, but the offensive board to Jackson. That one's tipped into the backcourt by Middle Tennessee. Lander driving again. That's a tough off-balance shot. Bayless runs it down. Bayless cuts it to 2 once more.
How did Bayless finish that? How did he do that?
Lander is limping as we get a break in the action here.
The ball fake, and then he initiates contact first. I'm surprised that Mustafa didn't come over to try to block that.
Yeah, he only has one foul, and I think he realized it there too.
But I think that he was worried that Bayless was going to bait him into overcommitting and dump it down low, but tough play by Bayless. This place is on fire right now.
Lander had to come out of the game. Quick spin baseline. Mustafa draws the late whistle as he hits the floor. And Hank Plona is beside himself in front of the Western Kentucky bench.
I mean, it looked like Mustafa just fell down. There's so he wraps his arm a little bit and brings him down. Watch initially his left arm. That's a foul, Chris. That's actually, it's not a blocking foul, but that is a foul.
Oh, that one hit everything. Mustafa, first in the conference in rebounds a game, second in field goal percentage. He's got 12 points and 11 rebounds tonight. 4 of 7 at the free throw line, and he'll get one more.
I loved watching film on him in preparation for this game, and he just had this amazing footwork and balance about him. And I asked him at shoot-around, I said, hey, just curious, who do you like to study on film? He goes, oh, Hakeem Olajuwon. I said, you watch film on Hakeem Olajuwon? How old are you?
Surprised you even know who he is. He's like, well, I am 25.
That's right. That's right. Wise beyond his years. He said, that's the guy. That's the king of the footwork. And you can see it in his bounce.
Lander is still out of this game and not on the bench. Might have had to go back to the locker room. Bayless looking to make it work again. And does! Plus the foul. Now this place is alive, and so is this rivalry. Western Kentucky down double digits moments ago. Now within 2 and a chance to make it 1 on the other end. College basketball on CBS Sports Network is presented by Fresh Pet. Let's take a look at the JIP AP poll top 10 with Auburn beating Alabama today in that matchup of 1 versus 2. Mike, who are your Final Four sleepers right now?
Well, there's a handful of teams I like to go to. Texas A&M, nobody's talking about them. They are playing incredible. Buzz Williams has the Aggies rolling. Arizona's fixed their season in the Big 12. They're one of the most talented teams in the country. Memphis out of the American, play fast, furious. They are rolling right now. I really like this Michigan team. They've won 5 in a row, including they just beat Purdue 75-73. And that mixture, 7-foot Danny Wolf, 7-foot Vlad Golden in pick and roll. Come on, man, I want to see that in the Final Four.
I don't know if I can let you get away with calling Texas A&M a Final Four sleeper when they beat.
Nobody's talking about
a 2 seed.
I know, but nobody's talking about them. I understand that they're going to be a 2 seed, you know, maybe at worst they're a 3 seed, but nobody has Texas A&M.
You're right,
as a Final Four run. Because if you're not talking about those top 4 seeds that were just announced, everybody's going to you immediately talk about Houston and Iowa State, and rightfully so.
Even in their own conference in the SEC, they're like the 5th or 6th team that you talk about.
Right.
No,
so do you want to apologize and amend what you originally just
apologize?
Okay.
I apologize for stepping all over me right there.
Sorry.
Got a good one right here. Western Kentucky down by double digits moments ago. Within 2, Middle Tennessee still just destroying Western in points off turnovers, 14-0. It's a 2-point lead, and still no Christian Lander on the court. He is back on the bench for Western Kentucky, and he's sitting real close to Hank Plona. Looks like he wants to get back in this game. He was really starting to catch fire before he had to head out. Oh, Cameron Weston, tough dribble. Mustafa gets the ball. My goodness, he does it again. 11th double-double of the season. That's twice as many as anybody else in Conference USA. And that's going to be an offensive foul. They're going to get Odiati for that one. Leroy Odiati, who's going to have to hit the bench with his 2nd personal foul. That was down near the baseline. Still no Lander, who's standing up on the bench.
I'd go inside to Mustafa here because he's got Keita on him with 3 fouls.
Weston, 4-3. Oh, boy, that's a big one. For a guy that's really been struggling with that shot at 27% on the season.
That's his 3rd made 3. You can't go under the screen on him anymore, Chris.
Middle Tennessee has stemmed the tide. Western got it within 2, had a chance to get it to 1 out of that timeout. Marshall, a 3.
The shot making in this game is awesome. It's just awesome.
And that was Marshall's first make. He was 0 for 8. Weston again. McHenry thought about the baseball pass deep, thought better of it. Around the tough screen. Bodies it inside, lost it out of bounds. It's Middle Tennessee basketball.
That's a really good example of Middle Tennessee getting back and matching up in transition defense, number 1. And it's a really good example of what Coach Plona said. We have to slow down if we don't have anything. We don't have to go fast just to go fast. That's out on McHenry. It's a good example. You pull that back out and go to rescreen, worst case scenario.
It's hard to believe that they have only 9 turnovers, yet Middle Tennessee has scored 17 points off those 9 turnovers. And looking for more on this possession. Porter.
Oh, the snatch.
Oh, the string.
The snatch back cross. Like he's in the park. Whoa.
Kalambe.
Great defense.
Into the corner. That 3 was halfway down from Tyrone Marshall. Weston. Fans wanted to walk, but now they have numbers. Kalambe able to save that one in. And the 3 falls for McHenry. And Lander's getting set to check back in. An open look, and Middle answers again. Justin Porter.
But a good use of the ghost screen to get Porter that 3. Oh, what a cross. What a explosion crossover from Jalen Jackson. How fast was that?
Blink of an eye. Porter, 3. Very short. And Western Kentucky down 4. At the under 8, they rip it away. And there's still plenty of time on the shot clock. There's a whistle that's going to get us to the under 8 timeout with 20 on the shot clock. Western Kentucky with the ball within 4. Revisiting our keys to the game from Mike O'Donnell, brought to you by Fresh Pet.
Well, did they get any easy looks for Lander? Lander, 23 minutes, 10 points. They've been pretty good on Christian Lander, and for Western Kentucky, giving up 22 points in the paint, and they've been decent, I would say, at making the extra pass. In the second half, I think they've gotten away from that a little bit. But let's look at this ghost screen action. Here's Porter. It looks like he's going to set a screen, this guard-on-guard screen, but he's going to ghost it. That's a fake screen, and come off it because he's going to receive another screen by Mustafa. Ghost screen, another screen, wide open, bucket. Nice execution on the guard-on-guard ghost screen. Almost an Iverson cut for Porter.
We had 12 lead changes in the first half. Haven't had one in the second half. Middle Tennessee had a 5-point halftime lead. They eventually ran out to an 11-point lead. Western Kentucky has been able to stay close. Every time they get within 1, 2, 3 points, Middle Tennessee has had the answer. But now Christian Lander is back in the game for Western Kentucky. And they have the ball with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
And Jalen Counter, who had 18 points in the first half, only 2 in the second half.
He had 18 points in the first 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, excuse me.
Oh, Weston almost got the steal. He's guarding Don McHenry. There's Lander for 3. Banked it in! Porter leans in, and there it is again, the answer from Middle Tennessee.
Justin Porter is playing at his own pace tonight.
14 points, 8 rebounds for Porter. McHenry able to get his offensive rebound. Lander dumps it inside. Kana got it blocked by Mustafa. And Mustafa's got it. Batted out of bounds by Lander. Let's go back to Porter's bucket the last time down.
Watch the pace that Porter plays with. Puts his defender in jail just briefly. Tough finish. Look at the block from Mustafa. Doesn't get it, keeps his arm up, times it up perfectly. Not the most athletic, but he's just such a smart player. Good chase by Jackson.
Porter, long 2. And that one's going to go to Western Kentucky. And Porter, 12 of his 14 here in the second half. Again, this is the second meeting between these two teams. Maybe they'll see each other again in Huntsville, Alabama at the Conference USA tournament. Middle won the first game by 14. Lander got his own rebound. 1-point game. And the Hilltoppers are calling for the crowd at Diddle. Weston is fouled. Team foul number 6 on Western Kentucky, so no free throws yet, but both teams will be shooting the rest of the way.
On the road, if you're Middle Tennessee, and you know you got an opportunity to get into the bonus, don't take any ill-advised contested shots. Get to the rim.
Weston around a screen from Mustafa.
Smart.
Finds Olston and throws it down. Fans wanted a tee for excessive hanging, but they're left hanging. Again, the response from Middle Tennessee. ODI's had 3 dunks in this game. Bayless around his screen, and Mustafa rips down his 12th rebound of the game. Mustafa, goaltend.
That was a dime and a half from Justin Porter. Watch this, a little drag screen in transition. You can see his eyes. The roll happens. Inside out, draw the defender. Man, that is so good.
Lead back up to 5 as we near the 5-minute mark. One-on-one action here, and it'll be a 1-and-1 at the free throw line for Enoch Kalambe, who's a really good free throw shooter at 82%. Let's go back and look at that huge stuff from the redshirt freshman.
That is what you call on his head. That's what the kids say, Chris Hassel.
Is that when they do that thing where they tap the top of their head?
Yes.
I mean, you should know, you got dunked on a lot. as a player. Back at UCF.
No, I just got out of the way in time.
Lambe 12 points tonight, 3 for 4 at the line. Oh, that's a big front end miss. Cameron Weston got it blocked. Bayless tried to save it in. Oh, he is just feisty everywhere on that court, all 94 feet. 14 on the shot clock. It was the 7th free throw miss for Western Kentucky. They're just 8 of 15 at the line. We talked about it at the start of this game, how important free throws are. Especially in a game like this, it's kind of looked at as a toss-up coming in. Lander picks the pocket of Mustafa. Over to McHenry.
Bayless needed to be up by the three-point line. He would have had an open three if it was spaced properly.
Lander too strong. Mustafa his 13th board. Middle Tennessee going to work some clock. Weston. Oh, wow.
They just love his pace. They just always under control.
Yeah, never in a hurry.
Yep.
Western has cut this thing to 1 several times here in the second half. Just can't get over the hump. Kalambe. Another point-blank miss for Western Kentucky. They have not been good at the rim in this game. 9 of 18 on layups. Fans looking for one last push. Jalen counter, guarded by McHenry. Mustafa, banked it in with the left hand. The ambidextrous 25-year-old doing it all in another monster showing. 19 points, 13 boards. Bayless for 3. Another one for Mustafa.
And if you're Western Kentucky, you got to turn up the defensive pressure a little bit. You don't have to full court press yet, but you got to make some activity. Right now, the Hilltoppers look gassed.
Here's Mustafa. Going to work. Oh, my goodness. What a 9-5 tonight for Mustafa. And it's a 10-0 run over the last 3:30 to open up an 11-point lead with 2:25 to go.
Issam Mustafa might have the best YMCA old man game in the country. Footwork, patience, touch, so tough.
More live college basketball to come when we are done out in the Mountain West as San Diego State hosts Boise State. Tyson Degenhart second in the Mountain West in scoring. Magoon Guath leads the Mountain West in blocks, kind of 2 different styles. Boise State scores it. San Diego State always a great defensive team, giving up the fewest points in Mountain West games. Issam Mustafa, 21 points, 14 rebounds, and the huge part of this 10-0 run to try to close the door.
5 of those 14 rebounds for Mustafa have been on the offensive side of the floor. He's got excellent footwork, ambidextrous, can finish with either hand. Middle Tennessee just got their first kill shot of the game, largely in part due to Mustafa's ability to attack around the rim. Kill shots an a 10-0 run. Any team with at least one 10-0 run in a game wins almost 75% of the time.
More than twice as many double-doubles as anybody else in this conference. That'll snap that 10-0 run. But a long hill to climb for the toppers here. Christian Lander and get another free throw.
And you say it's a long hill to climb, and you're right. By the way, excellent seal by Keita that allows Lander to get that bucket. Call that a Gortat screen. But this is the best way to get back. Can you get to the free throw line? Clock stops. You're able to knock down free throws, potentially set up a full court press. And for Coach Plona, these act as many timeouts to set up your defense, your offensive calls. So we get a little full court press right now.
8-point game.
That was a dangerous pass.
And almost lost it. They lost Mustafa. He found Austin.
Are you serious? What? This game is nuts.
McHenry comes back, answers the other way, and Coach Plona will use one of those timeouts. 8-point game, 1:48 to go. So Middle Tennessee up by 8. Let's take a couple different looks at that great lob and stuff from Middle Tennessee.
It's an excellent pass. This is video game stuff. I mean, that is so good from the freshman Torrey Alston. He's been awesome all game long, and that is an emphatic punch. Excellent pass. Austin, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks in 28 minutes. This young kid is special and is going to continue to be special for Middle Tennessee. Wow.
Looking to get Nick McDevitt his 100th win here at Middle Tennessee in this, his 7th season. What a roller coaster ride it's been, Mike. Remember those first 3 years?
Yep.
11 wins, 8 wins, 5 wins, but then broke out in that 21-22 season to win 26 games. And this is their best start since then. And he said, yeah, the teams are somewhat similar. He thought that 22 team was a little bit bigger, a little bit more physical, but he thinks that they are every bit as deep as that team that won 26 games.
It's certainly high praise for sure, Chris. That was a great Middle Tennessee team, and we've got a ball handling clinic right now for Middle Tennessee, and it started with that man, Weston.
Of course, Mustafa got his hand on it, but not the last hand on it.
You can review this, though.
With 119. It's called Middle Tennessee basketball, but they'll head to the monitor. But, you know, he had that ascension, that great 26-win season. Then they went 19-14, and then last season really struggled 14-19. And they've already surpassed the season wins from last year. And a lot like this Western Kentucky team this season, they dealt with the huge injury to Cam Weston, and that changed the complexion of the whole season.
And this ball looked like, to me, off on Lander. But you're right, Chris. You know, Coach McDevitt is probably one of the more underappreciated coaches in the country, and just every single year his teams play the right way. That's off on Lander at the very end.
Yeah,
it's the perfect angle by our crew.
Yeah, Mustafa knew it too. He said it's the other way. So Middle Tennessee is going to get the basketball, more than likely, with 1:19 to go and an 8-point lead, as McDevitt looks to get to 100 wins tonight. Of course, Kermit Davis, the all-timer, 332 wins and winning at the highest level. You go back to 2016, 2017 NCAA tournaments where they won in the first round, monumental upsets. And then Coach McDevitt had to replace a legend. That's not easy to do.
No.
I mean, it was a total rebuild. And it is going to be Middle Tennessee basketball. Put another second on the clock as well. And 20 on the shot clock. Weston inbounding. Mustafa's got it, and he's fouled. And we'll send him to the line for a 1-and-1. And he's 5 for 8 at the line tonight, 62% on the season. So if you're Western, that's the guy you really want to send.
That's the worst free throw shooter on the floor for Middle Tennessee. So it's a good job by Western Kentucky defensively of denying everybody else and allowing the worst free throw shooter to catch the ball.
But for Western, we mentioned the injuries, and Colombe came back tonight after illness. Julius Thedford could be back in the next couple of weeks. And look, you don't need to tell these fans. I mean, you just get into the tournament and you've got a shot. They were 8-8 in conference play last year and went to the NCAA tournament because they got hot in Huntsville. And Mike, you're going to be on the call on CBS Sports Network for the semis and championship game. Lander missed that. Mustafa, his 15th rebound. So in 2 games against Western Kentucky this season, Issam Mustafa has 33 boards.
Incredible. He doesn't beat you with speed. He doesn't beat you with athleticism. He beats you with timing, intelligence, and a relentless pursuit for the basketball.
This was a guy that was at Coastal Carolina for 4 years, then went to TCU last season. And it was a connection at Coastal Carolina that actually got him in front of Coach Nick McDevitt, because when he was at Coastal, Mustafa, Coastal came and played at Middle Tennessee because one of their guys, one of their assistants, Logan Johnson, wanted to have a game where he could coach in front of one of his all-time coaching favorites, and that's kind of how he got on the radar. Of course, they couldn't get him last year. He goes to TCU, but 1 more year left, and they said, hey, we got to go get this guy. And what a find he's been. 10-point game, final 45 seconds. Colombe is going to go to the free throw line. For Western Kentucky, they've got still 4 of their last 6 games here at home. Sam Houston Thursday, then Louisiana Tech next weekend. The last road trip at UTEP, at New Mexico State, and then FIU and Liberty to close things out. That UTEP game in El Paso is on CBS Sports Network. But it's going to be really important for them to get into the top 6 and avoid having to win 4 games in 4 days. For Middle Tennessee, they're going to be 2 games behind Jacksonville State for first place. And they've got 4 of their last 6 at home, Mike.
Yeah, and you look at some of these teams, you know, between Louisiana Tech, you know, they're always tough. That Liberty game is going to be an awesome matchup on CBS Sports Network. Liberty has one of the best offenses in Conference USA. And they essentially intentionally yet unintentionally fouled Mustafa on that missed free throw.
Missed again. But how about that?
No way.
Got a traveling violation on Porter.
Great hustle by Porter, though. It's what he does. Never stops working.
Don't forget, we've got Boise State at San Diego State to follow. Out in San Diego. Big Mountain West tilt. McHenry for 3, off the mark. Another offensive rebound for Western Kentucky. McHenry short on that. And look at Weston getting on the floor. Final 25 seconds and getting the timeout. Middle Tennessee is going to come away with a huge road victory. They were the underdogs tonight, but they're going to end up on top when all is said and done. We're back to close things out after this. 22 seconds to go. Middle Tennessee up by 8 here at Western Kentucky. There were 12 lead changes in the first half. It was frenetic, back and forth. Nobody led by more than 5. But Middle Tennessee went on an 18-4 run beginning at the end of the first half and then stretching the lead out to 11 early in the second half. And Western has cut it to 1 several times in the second half, but have not been able to get over the hump. For those of you tuning in for that Boise-San Diego State game, you'll be able to find that streaming free on the CBS Sports app or at cbssports.com/CBSSN as soon as it tips off. And we'll get you out there immediately at the conclusion of this game. Tip-off just moments away at 10:10 Eastern Time.
Good seal by Weston. He's such a smart player. I'm going to read out a stat line for you. Cam Weston is going to the free throw line. 18 points, 7 assists, 0 turnovers. Cam Weston came off a bad game, especially by his standards, in their win versus Kennesaw State. He only had 2 points. 2 points. This is one of the great guards in Conference USA, one of the great guards who we've seen in Middle Tennessee in years, responding with a huge effort on the road, Chris.
Yeah, he had kind of been in a funk over the last couple of weeks. Just 12 total points in his last 3 games. He was 4 of 19 from the floor. And they at times tonight dared him to shoot the 3. And he made him pay 3 different times. And every time Western Kentucky got within a point or 2, Cameron Weston and these guys would have a response. Western Kentucky never had the ball with a chance to take the lead in the second half. And that should do it. Middle Tennessee 87, Western Kentucky 77. And it is Nick McDevitt's 100th win at Middle Tennessee, as they remain 2 games out of first place in Conference USA, improving to 8-4, 2 games behind Jacksonville State, tied with Liberty for second. And Western Kentucky now not in that top 6. And if you're not there, you have to try to win 4 games in 4 days. Coming up next, we'll get you out to Boise State at San Diego State. Rich Waltz and Darren Collison on the call. For Mike O'Donnell and our entire crew, I'm Chris Hassel. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network.